Hello, everybody! My name is James Leggett, and today, to promote the web series The City of Owls, I am here with one of the directors, Carl. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm Carl. Just like the creator of this thing called The City's Hours, like a little um, TV show what we're going to be doing, 12-part episode. And yeah, so I was like the director, producer, and general dog's body, even some actors sometimes.
Okay. Question one. How did you get into filmmaking?
Right. I've actually written it down before just to check for the things. So, question one. How do I get into filmmaking? So basically, yeah, I stumbled along it. It was all accidental how it all happened. One of my pals, he was at this thing called Kino Sydney, and he just basically said, "Want to come down and watch these films, these short films?" I had no idea what there was, so I went down to go and watch them. And I realized you pay some money in, you got a drink, you watch some films, and then I also realized that you could save some money if you actually was in the films. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump in one of those films. There was auditioning, so I thought, right, I'm going to audition, and that's what I did. I auditioned. I was an actor, and then the month later, I got in for free. So I was buzzing because I saved myself like $5, and that's how I got into it.
Okay.
This is like, yeah,
Question two. How tough was COVID in your career?
uh, not really, buddy, not really. So basically, I was off like everybody else, doing all the school stuff, looking after the kids, doing all that business, and yeah, no money coming in because I'm like self-employed and stuff. But yeah, so basically, it wasn't really that tough. I had COVID as well. I had that long COVID, so I was ill for like months and months and months. Like couldn't walk and properly, and then couldn't get upstairs, and couldn't breathe properly, and like constantly gunk on my chest and stuff. Um, but um, I pretty much stayed in throughout the things, stayed in, chilled out, and then I started to go out a little bit. And then when I was out and there's nobody around, it started to get me creative thoughts. So I was like, yo, I'm getting more creative and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much that's what it was for us. And then somebody hit us up and says, "Do you want to fancy getting on, do some films again?" And I didn't have nothing there, so I said, "Yeah." She said, "Are you doing anything?" I went, "Yeah, we'll do something." And I said, "Like, we'll get onto it from there." So yeah, so really, COVID really wasn't much of a bother for us. I was just chilling anyway, just chilled out. So that's a long answer.
Okay. Question three. Have you ever acted before?
Yeah, I am the most wooden actor you'll come across. I am really bad at acting. So yeah, that's how I first got into it. I did a bit of acting. I played like this bad boyfriend or something, and as we're around with proper actors, and they all knew what I was doing, I had no idea, and I was just like proper going into it, and like cut, cut, cut. I was like still carrying on. I was like, nah, you gotta chill out. When we said cut, stop. So I didn't have no any do. Did some speaking in it. And then yeah, and then I realized I could do other stuff. So I did some other stuff, did some action stuff, where I just got beat up all day. I thought it was going to be easy, but I didn't realize I had to get beat up and beat up and beat up. The first 20 times wasn't too bad, but by time 60, I was proper aching. But yeah, and then I did like some other stuff, like little TV shows, little what are called extra work. Done some of that business. And yeah, I've had to do some other short films whenever needed, but I am bad at acting. I am not an actor whatsoever.
Okay. Takes guts to admit when you're not great at something.
I just listen. I've seen myself. I'm like this. Really, really bad. Really, really bad at it.
Okay, okay. Question four. Favorite film you have made?
so, ah, so I'll break down into two. So I would say the favorite film I ever made would be just like a on my own. I was doing a little bit of acting, doing a bit of filming. That was my favorite one I made because I come up with some shots which like I was just doing some shots and different types of shots, and I come up with loads of different crazy shots. So that was probably one of my favorite ones that I made. Probably one of the real favorite one I made with other people would be the one, just like, when I mentioned about COVID, just after when COVID started, the first everyone we did after that one was called a photograph. Now, the reason why it was probably my favourite one is because initially it was going to be filmed a certain way. I don't know if you know, but sometimes when you're filming, things go wrong. It always goes
I
wrong.
I
And
have lots of experience of that.
you got to fix problems. So a
Mm-hmm.
filmmaker's all about problem solving and problem fixing. And what happened? It was my fault. I forgot a lead. Got an XLR cable, so we didn't have sound. So I thought, right, okay, I've got another gimbal, and I've got a microphone that I can plug into this gimbal for the camera. I thought, let's just go with that, and we went with that, and that's probably our best film what we've created. Um, we had no expectations then. The actor was like, "Do I go home?" I was like, "Nah, we'll sort it." The director was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Chill out, we've got this," and we worked the problem. And then from there, I would say creating it, we had lots of fun because we knew what our restrictions was. We knew that it's not going to be fantastic, but it become more fantastic because we were more relaxed about it. So the photograph would be my favorite one. Um,
If it makes you feel any better, a friend of mine once told me they accidentally shot a short film in slow motion, so they had to speed it up massively just to get to sync up with the audio.
that's cool. Do you know what? I like it. I like. I must admit, I do know when we're doing the slow motion because, like, obviously you got to mess around. So I'm thinking, but sometimes I think it's possible to leave it still in there. So yeah, I can get what happened there. Yeah,
Okay. Question 5. Favorite
yeah.
on-set experience?
So favorite on-set experience. I I'm a bit. I don't know if you noticed. I'm a bit chunky. Yeah.
I mean, the t-shirt
So
does hide it pretty well.
well, if I start to bring it up, then everybody will be terrified.
I know, I
But
know.
food is my thing, my go-to. And I would say when you're an extra on a big budget thingy, big budget like TV show or
Mhm.
film, food is so that's where I am. My favorite things is the food. Everybody's coming around, everybody's having a laugh, having all the food. That's where I am. None of that filmmaking rubbish. Just eating the food. No, I'm joking. But yeah, food. I'm very food motivated. I would say when we were like dealing with filmmaking and stuff like that, I would say probably when I talked about before when I said I was getting beat up all the
Mhm.
time. Because initially I didn't know what I was going into, getting into, and it was one of those. It got to the stage where the pain just become funny. Like we just knew what I was going to do. We knew what we had to go for it, and everybody knew, and was laughing. We knew what was going to happen. I'm going to get flipped over and beat up again. So yeah, so I enjoyed that. So yeah, that would have been that one. That was some like zombie Buffy the Vampire Slayer type thing. Um, so I was like one of these demons or something, where I just kept on getting beat up.
Okay. Question 6. Worst on-set experience?
Every shoot's the worst one. So the worst one I would say is when everybody's looking at you and everybody's expecting to carry on and do something, and you realise A, you forgot something, B, somebody's not turned up, so on and so on. All these little things, all these little nuances, which always happens. And then everybody's looking at you, you're thinking, okay, what we was originally going to do might not necessarily be that. We're going to have to do something else. And then you just work the problem, like I said. But yeah, so some of the worst experiences would be the main actor not turning up. And then we're like, okay, let's let's revise this scene. You now have become what the main actor would have done. Let's change it a little bit. We have to rehearse it a bit more, But if we just chill out about it, there's no point crying about it. We just gotta work the problem. So that's what we do. Um, Accident wise, dropping things on my toes. I dropped a big C stand on my toes. That was pretty bad. That hurt. I've still got a blood blister on my main toe from months back from dropping a C stand on my toe. And that's because somebody said hello, and I turned around and went hi. And as I turned around, I was taking something out of my car, and it just drops onto my foot. So yeah. But yeah, do you know what? Even when it's bad, like even when it's bad and it's running over and stuff, still pretty good.
Okay. Question 7. In your view, what's the difference between professional filmmakers and student filmmakers?
Do you know what? I think when you use like professional, I think you realize, in fact, it's not you realize, you know that you don't know everything. That's the truth. You know what I mean? So I would say that's the difference. Whereas you're a student, you know a lot. And whereas you're professional, you forget a lot. So a student would know a lot and would know a lot about filmmaking, whereas professional, then it's there, but they also know that whatever you know, forget about it. It doesn't matter, because everything is not going to be ideal anyway. So, whereas a student might follow a certain pattern, professionals like, you know what, whatever we've got for today, grab hold of it, throw it in the bin. This is what's really going to happen. You never really know how a film's going to go shoot until once you're on the ground, you see everything getting set up, and then you go there. As a student, you might think I'm doing this shot, this shot, this shot. As a filmmaker, you're thinking, right, okay, that lorry's going beep, 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 beep all the time. Okay, wasn't there when we did our recce beforehand. Okay, so maybe we might take 10. Let's just rehearse for a bit. What I tend to do is with a lot of the actors is I'll have somebody setting up and I'll just have the actors running the scene, run the scene, run the scene. We run the scene 8, 9 times, run the scene, run the scene. Once it's chilled out, stops, I go again, again. We're not turning the camera on, we're not done nothing, run the scene. That way, staging and blocking, you can start to work it out. See what their movements are. Forget about your shots, forget about your what's it, your storyboard or your shots, your shot list. Then you start seeing, okay, you start writing the shot list when you see the movement. Then, okay, this is this. You can go there with shot lists, you can go there with storyboards, but until you actually see the actors moving and interacting with each other, you don't really know. So I would say that.
Okay, question 8. Since you're the creator of the City of Ours, how did you come up with it?
So what happened was, obviously in a pub where most great things start there. So it was in a pub. I was actually turning in the film, a feature film, to the director and writer of the film, and I basically said, well, "We should do this, and it'll be about this." And then he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." And then from that idea, started to work it, started to get the treatment and all that business, um, and yeah, and that's basically where it came from. We just literally an idea, said it'll be about this and that this. Has it actually turned into the idea? No, no, no. Reason being, like the main protagonist was originally like pretty much more based on a gangster from around where I live, very much based on that one. But as it went along, it went far from that, and that's just because of the actor, which was mentioned with playing it, didn't actually want it to be played eventually. So then we had to go a little bit different, and then the original story was meant to go a certain way, and then we decided, do you know what, we're not. And then I spoke to some of the writers and said, right, okay, we're not actually doing that one. Can you change this? Can you change that? The actual show wasn't written by one writer. It was written by many. So initially, I came up with the A story, the B story, the series, what it's about, the characters. I did all that business, and written down the gist of what the series would be about. But then I sent it out to different writers. So we had writers from all around the world create it. Some from Africa, some from Australia, some from England, North, South, women, men, women, all sorts, getting involved in it. So that's how it pretty much created. So I think we had about 7 writers on it by the end of it. I written parts when I need to. The actors written parts when they need to do as well.
Okay. Question 9. How difficult was it to make The City is Ours?
Very, very. So pre-production, going back to when you said about students and professional.
Mm-hmm.
So pre-production was 3 months, and in pre-production, when you think you got everything covered,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nah. So we went 3 months. I thought this is what it is. I'm going to do 3 months production. I'm going to do 3 months production, 9 months shooting, 3 months post production. That was the plan. We were over by several months on each one already. But with the pre production, What I was really, really happy about pre-production, it taught me a lot. Pre-production taught me how production was going to go. I could foresee things straight away, and then once production was on, I could then foresee how post-production would be. I've seen the problems. I've seen all the sort. I've seen it, and I can sense the problems in advance. But yeah, it's very difficult. But the thing is, with the show, it was always the sole aim of it's being done, it's being created. That's it. End of. No if, no buts, no maybes. It's being done, being created, it's being released. So many people involved. It's been that's probably been the best part about it. So many people involved. Some people, like I said, when you're doing it, some people, believe. Some people, mm, some people don't believe. And whether at some stage you can see how much help, how much input from those who do believe, and then the ones who don't, then they don't, and they just go whichever way they go. The ones who don't believe are still probably a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Did I
Okay.
answer the question, or did I just waffle then?
You answered it. You answered it. Question 10. What was it like on set?
It was all right, It was all right. So sometimes it would be 20, 30 people. Sometimes it would be one or two. And that's in cast and crew and stuff like that. I think, me personally, I think everybody pretty much got along. Um, yeah, everybody pretty much got along. We had lots of different backgrounds as well. I think our show's probably got the most women involved that you probably ever see. There's a certain thing in filming, I forgot what it's called, where there's a woman in the scene, there's a woman in the scene, and they talk, and they're talking, and when they're talking about somebody, they're talking about another woman. It's not necessarily always done. They might be talking about a man, but because I knew that we had so many women, and I'd seen that it's happening, I thought it's got to happen more than once. It's got to happen so much more than once. So we've had lots of women in production. Lots of women in crew, lots of women in acting as well, writing. Yeah, we had lots of women writing, and I think like as a collective, it was. And when you're working with all these different people, my boiler's just going at the moment. As you're working with all these people, you could feel the fun. We was having a laugh. We was like after when we wrapped, we did have a little drink afterwards. We was like talking and smiling, having a laugh. And I think everybody got together and really connected. And like I said, there's lots of different races, different sexualities. There was all sorts, and there was no issues. Where you think, oh, this person might clash, or this person might clash. With attitudes and egos. There was none of that. We had some high level actors and crew members and stuff, and everybody just got involved. Didn't moan, didn't whinge, and really helped each other. So yeah.
Okay. Question 11. Any dream films that don't exist yet that you want to make?
Ooh. Do you know what? Have you come? You know that thing? What's it called? John Travolta did that Cloud Atlas or something.
Don't think that was John Travolta. I know that was the Wachowskis. That film had a very confusing order.
Yeah, no, yeah. What was the one what John Travolta did? Where there was the guys from that religious one.
Uh,
The
Battlefield Earth.
That's the one. That's the one. I would like to just jump on something like that and do something along those lines. I'm very much into like aliens and religions and spirituality and stuff like that. I love all that. Superheroes, just everything. I love it all it's fine.
I,
Very much a believer that everything kind of comes all together.
yeah, I presume you wouldn't film it sideways the whole time.
Pardon?
I presume you wouldn't film it sideways the whole time like Battlefield Earth.
Do you know? Do you know what? If you've seen some of my frame and you think, nah, we're joking. No. Do you know what? When it comes to filming, I do love handheld, and Do you know? I don't know if you've come across it where you attach like the camera to your to like a helmet, to the actors and stuff like that. I love that. Love that. I love the snoozy cam as well when you attach it to the actors and then go and do the things. I love that. So I'll probably have a lot of that in there and probably just make everybody go a bit. Oh, it's too much. So yeah, I would like to make this the most. What the hell is this film about? Film just to then say, I don't know. I don't know. We just made it. I don't know. You tell me. But yeah, just make something. Just make somebody thing what makes people go. I don't know what it is, but I liked it. I'm dissing it. I'm dissing it. Happy days.
Okay. And finally, question 12. Any ideas for the next project?
So no more projects from me. No more projects from me. Now I've just been asked about a new crime drama one from one of the writers who's written quite a lot of ours, and I basically said once we've got this over the road and it's out, then we'll look at it. So it's going to be another crime drama. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. The writer's got it already locked and loaded, so it's going to be another crime drama. That's what it'll be.
Alright, end of the questions. When is The City of Ours coming out?
You tell me. You tell me. Hopefully, it should be out very soon. We're looking. I wanted it out for which day are we on now? I wanted it out for in a few days' time. I'm thinking at a push August. August.
Okay.
I wanted it out for July. August. We're going to do some pre-release episodes. What they're called?
Teasers?
When you start to screenings. Yeah, we're going to do some screenings.
Okay.
Some pre-release screenings. We're going to do 3 of them. Do some raffles as well. Raise some money for charity. Going to do that. I'm going to say which charity, local charities, raise some money, give them some money, get everybody involved. We're going to auction off some of the gear that we use, whether it be the weapons, whether it be the clothing, items, props and stuff. We're going to auction them off to people and see what's going to happen. But yeah, hopefully, I would say I still want it for July, but realistically, August. Worst case scenario, everything's gone wrong September, but I'm fighting every day. I'm fighting every day. I'm fighting.
Okay. Assuming that's not you, the audience at home who's probably watching this interview when it's already been released.
Yeah. Hopefully, they're like, where it is? No, I know what it is. Yeah, hopefully it is. Hopefully it's out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wave goodbye to everybody.
See you later. Enjoy yourself and have a good time. See you later, bud.